There we go.
Hello.
There. Good. Now we've got it. Okay. So how about I'll do like, Can you see me? Okay. We'll just do real short because I even have a 2:00 call. So it doesn't have to be long, but if we go over 2:00, don't freak. Like we'll wrap it up and whatever. But so we'll go ahead and just get started. You ready?
I am.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is a big treat because I know you've been hearing about a lot of these success stories and you've been looking at them, but I'm so honored that my friend Linda is going to jump in here and just tell you in her own words about her real life journey of gaining and losing 100 pounds 2 different times in her life. So this will be short and sweet, but buckle up because it's going to be straight from the heart. So Linda, I'm so glad that you're here.
It's good to be here. You know, I'm formerly your biggest supporter, now just an enthusiastic supporter because I'm no longer as big as I was. So actually, I've lost 100 pounds 3 times, twice before this journey, once in 2001 to 2002 and another time in 2010 to 2011. Both of those times doing it in what I would call a fad diet way. The way still exists, let's just put it that way, but basically not eating a lot, not eating hardly anything. You're doing 5 supplements a day and 1 lean and green meal at the end of the day, basically, or I could choose what time of day. And so there was an education process that I did go through with that, but I really, it didn't connect with me, and apparently I didn't learn anything because the weight came off super fast both those times. And both those times I gained it back plus 10 more. So for me, that was, I think I've heard you say that, you know, your weight loss plan is as successful as you are today. And in both cases, I put it back on very quickly, or too quickly anyway. And so for me, I had to start a journey where I was going to learn something. And I know it's a cliche on, oh, it's a lifestyle change, but it really is. But finding a lifestyle that you love, even with the change, has been the secret for me. So that's probably the biggest difference this time.
So when you came to me and you met me and we started working together, you were already well into this 100 pounds journey, but what was it that happened there?
Lost, well, I moved from Ohio to Mississippi, and at that point I had lost 48 pounds. I think I'd lost probably about 65 total by the time I started with you, maybe. But that had been really about restriction and going to the gym. And I was going to the gym 9 times a week, and a combination of classes and working with a trainer. And this is a person who I've never been athletic, never been physically inclined, never did any of that stuff. But had turned going to the gym into a part-time job, more than part-time, actually. It might have actually been more full-time between the time that I spent in the shower and everything else after the double workouts and things like that. So I lurked on your Facebook page for more than a year and started that I just realized I needed to figure out what needed to actually go in my mouth and change that too. That just restricting calories had worked to a point, but I was fearful almost of when I got to goal because I didn't feel like I had changed enough other than restricting. And who wants to restrict forever to keep the weight off, or go to the gym 9 times a week forever? That neither of those things. So there was this fear of okay, I'm going to get to goal, but I'm going to still have this battle on, am I going to gain 100 pounds back?
Right.
So that's been the biggest difference for me, was, you know, connecting with you and figuring this stuff out. And then in the small group part, processing some things that I didn't even realize I needed to process between my ears. So yes, I'm physically different as far as how much weight is on my body, but I'm also different between my ears.
That's so amazing. Now, you kind of led into, people think that your journey, because you were 5 pounds away from your goal, that it was easy for you to lose weight and you didn't have any struggles. But then you just said you had to process some stuff between the ears. So what were some of the hiccups that you had to push past that maybe in the moment you didn't think that you could push past?
I think one was just this mindset of, well, people are made to be thin and some people aren't, and I must be in the I'm not made to be thin part, because of genetics and those kinds of things. And I don't mind my sharing. I have PCOS, which makes weight loss a battle. You know, I struggle for every ounce where other people struggle for pounds. And so that has been a struggle, even with, you know, dealing with the medical part of that. And although not impossible, as we found, my doctor is thrilled with what I'm putting in my mouth, because it works also with how they would have had me eat as well. But some other things are understanding what foods are really worth it, and that of the whole evaluation or assessment, going, well, is that worth it or isn't it worth it? And going, okay, it doesn't have to be worth it every meal, every day for the rest of my life to still enjoy what I'm eating and how I'm eating. I can still, like, I love that you have us identify top 5 foods. I mean, pizza and donuts are both in my top 5 foods. I've had both in the last week and a half, and the scale hasn't moved up. So I like that. And so being able to eat those, or be able to have the glass of wine when I want it, maybe not every time. And I may not go to dinner and hit the appetizers and the bread basket and the wine and the entrees and the potatoes, and then still have the dessert, but I'm going to choose which parts of those I want. Or there may be a meal that I want all that, but I'm not going to do that every single meal. So evaluating all of those things and learning that I could do that, and it was possible, and it wasn't going to kill me to do that. I wasn't going to be sad and miserable. I think I texted you over the weekend saying, you know, I love that I can eat and not feel guilty, and I don't have to be sad and miserable while I'm still, you know, working on getting to goal and working to keep it off.
So you're working to get to goal. That's where you're headed right now. But you just gave so many great points about where life is right now with your thoughts about food. How or what part of small group coaching helped you so much with getting to this mindset? Because you didn't start this day the way day one, did you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I started day one in tears going, I don't know if I can do this. And I had been dieting for 3 years at that point. So it was kind of ironic going, okay, here I'd been dieting, and by dieting, I mean restricting for 3 years to get at that point 60 or 65 pounds off. And so I had been used to the restriction aspect, but still having this hesitation, can I change how I'm eating, and starting in tears. The small group part value has been partially that other women sharing, realizing you're not alone. Like that, some of the things that are going through your head is going through their heads too. And so there's a piece where you go, oh, okay, this is not so abnormal. I'm not so unusual. And then sometimes it's things that people say that you don't expect. I'm trying to think of a specific example, but like that you didn't even realize, oh yeah, that's something maybe I'm going to have to deal with, because somebody else is already the point that they're dealing with whatever that issue is. Learning about comfort foods, for example, and the tie to our childhood, and what that looks like, and being able to survive, going into those situations where comfort foods are everywhere, and going, okay, I don't have to eat food for comfort. It's not going to do anything for me, kind of thing. And so all of that has been through processing through small group with other people, and learning from their experiences as well as your own experiences.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that part, because that is key. So like, as we're just ending this, what words of advice would you have to anyone out there who's watching this right now and just relating to your story?
That it's possible, that you can do it. I mean, I know you hear people say this, if I can do it, you can do it. But honestly, you can. I've been on that weight loss journey of restricting and gaining, and restricting and gaining, and restricting and gaining, and thinking nothing is going to work. And like I said, starting out where I was almost fearful of getting to goal, because what does that look like? Am I going to be able to keep it off? I'm not fearful anymore. I can do this because I'm not hungry, I'm not starving, and I'm not sad and miserable. And that is a huge mindset shift. And so there's this piece where I know you want to use the Nike term, just do it, just try it, because it actually might work. And I don't know if anybody is familiar with America's Got Talent and Nightbirde. She was the young lady that got the golden buzzer from Simon Cowell this year. And then she wasn't able to continue because she was dealing through cancer treatments. But she has this great motivational part of her as she's dealing with cancer treatments. And one of the things that she said about a month or 6 weeks ago is, don't you want to see what it looks like if you don't give up? And I was like, that's huge. Like, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, please put that on a t-shirt for me, because I need it on a t-shirt, a bumper sticker. I need it hanging on my fridge. I need it everywhere, because it is so true. Don't you want to see what it looks like if you don't give up? And I think as moms, a lot of times get to the point that we kind of give up on ourselves, and we're doing ourselves a disservice, because we're only as good as we are making the effort to be for ourselves. And it's not selfish. It's not selfish to take care of yourself.
No, it's not. So where do you see yourself going, Linda? What's ahead?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm continuing with like just kind of the normal things as far as eating how I've been eating, because I like it. I like I said, I'm not sad and miserable and feeling deprived. And there's a huge part of maintenance, I think, that's doable if I'm not feeling deprived, but I still can eat healthy and not feel deprived. And I still go to the gym. I'm not going 9 times a week, which I kind of like, because it's not that I hate it, but now the gym is something different for me. It's a stress reliever. It's a social piece, because, the ladies that are in the class and I'm going, hey, we missed you. Where were you? That kind of thing. It's a different way to look at it, and just doing life. My why was, I didn't want to be a spectator in my family anymore. I wanted to be a participant. And it's been nice to be able to participate and not be so self-conscious about participation, because I was so overweight, 106.5 pounds bigger than I am today. So just knowing that I can do it, I have done it, I can keep it off, has been a huge part for me in the success story, I guess. The success story will continue because I'm pleased with how this works.
I'm so thrilled for you, Linda. I hear the joy in your voice. You've created a lifestyle you love, where you look and feel your very best. And I'm just so proud of you. And I'm so glad to have you as a friend. And that
I'm grateful for you, because like I texted you over the weekend and said I had pizza last weekend, I had donuts this weekend, and I didn't have to have all the things, but I could pick and choose what I wanted, when I wanted it, and not feel guilty about it and feel miserable the next morning about what did I do.
That's everything. That's everything. You did the hard work, but time was going to go by anyway, and you invested in yourself, and here you are now. Like, just congratulations. So everybody, I know that she just blessed your socks off. Be sure to make nice positive comments below so that she can just feel your encouragement and your love. And thank you for being here, Linda. And if those of you are out there listening, you're thinking, maybe I want to be like her and you're inspired, you won't know unless you click the link in my bio and just set a time to chat with me. In 20 minutes, you'll know if it's a fit or not. Any last thoughts you have, Linda?
Not really. Like I said, I want everybody to eat in a way that makes them feel healthy, or feel happy in their life, so that they're not in a place where they're stuck, and not in a place where they're not doing the things they want to do because something like weight is holding them back. And I speak that from a place of, my weight was holding me back in so many more ways than I realize it. Now I've lost the equivalent of my nephew, like I was carrying him around. So
It's wonderful. Congratulations.
thanks.